Round 4, and the men of gas descend upon the Pacific Northwest in the second of 3 road course races to compete for the mid-season title of King of the Road. But here, the competition heats up, as some of this region's legendary road course racers have now joined the fray. Men like former Busch Series champion Chuck Bown, Silver State Challenge record holder Gary Bachman, and one of NASCAR's top 50 drivers of all time, Herschel McGriff. Current series points leader Joe Lamberti, fresh from a victory on the Iowa Oval, faltered last race at Kansas's Heartland Park. Now, for his second road course run, can he hold off these road course titans to maintain his points lead, or will turning right prove to be his Achilles heel?
He puts the hammer down.
As they come out of turn number 2 down the backstretch.
Turns it down low, pitches it to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh!
Like a great white shark stalking his prey.
The men of the Great American Stock Car Series don't just race for points. They race for pride, thrills, and to prove that they're still up for the challenge. And if you've got the desire, commitment, and the guts, you can drive in the Great American Stock Car Series. All you have to do is give it the gas. The Great American Stock Car Series is brought to you by VP Racing Fuels, the world leader in race fuel technology, and by Goodyear, more driven.
The Great American Stock Car Series is back at its home base, Portland, Oregon. This is Portland International Raceway, the 1.96-mile road course, hosting the 4th stop of the 2011 Great American Stock Car Series. I'm Bob Kamen along with Lou Seipol Jr. Always exciting to come back here because this is where Chris Evans first tested these cars on a road course as he developed the Gas Series. And a great field today, combination of veteran circle track drivers and some road course specialists.
We have a hometown man starting on the front row. How about Chuck Bown? Does he still have it? Yeah, I think he still has it when he qualifies second. But there's somebody else you might want to keep an eye on, the guy who qualified third, Tom Moore. If he can keep that car on the track, he could be a factor before this race is over.
Who knew these Iowa corn farmers could drive in more than just a circle? Earlier we had an opportunity to talk with some of the competitors in today's race.
We're here with the number 2 qualifier in today's event, Chuck Bown, and 1990 Busch Series champion. And again, you're racing against the gas guys. Now, probably a little different ritual in the Busch Series as compared to here.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You know, the first few rows have some pretty good drivers and some pretty fast race cars, but there's quite a variance, I think, in speed from the very front to the very back. But it's just another race. You got to finish it to have a chance to win it. You got to keep the fenders on it and be patient and just kind of relax, save your energy for showtime.
On the pole, Gary Bachman. Bachman is also a driving instructor at PIR and posted the best qualifying lap at just under 28 seconds.
I know we were quick. We were quick in practice. What caught me by surprise yesterday, I went out there in the practice session and ran hard the entire time. Going to run the tires off the car and find what it's going to be like at the end of the race on Sunday. Well, unbeknownst to me, is we were going to qualify in the same set of tires. So, so we had to kind of baby the tires a little bit, but we got done what we wanted.
Joe Lamberti, let's talk about this track, Portland International Raceway. Much like Kansas, a chance to kind of burn up the wheels and the corners of the car.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a quick track. You know, you get the car going pretty good on the straights here. You know, we get them up to around 140 or so, but you got to keep your eyes open. You know, you could snap the car around in a second. You know, and the biggest issue I have is just timing my gear changing. You know, if I just miss one shift and then you pull it into speed too late, you know, you'll whip it right around and end up in a circular direction. That's for sure.
As the cars come down the front straight for the last pace lap, let's take a look at the top of this 24-car field. Gary Bachman, the pole sitter. Chuck Bown, a rookie in the series, but extensive experience in the Busch Series. Tom Moore lurking up there in the top 2 rows. Rob Gritton, who was part of the Gas Series 2 years ago as a regular. And John Dranius, our outstanding rookie.
Now remember, Gary Bachman not only is a great road course driver, he's an instructor at this facility.
Let's give you a look at the course here at Portland International Raceway. It's just under 2 miles in length, 12 turns in all, 2 straightaways. The actual fastest part of the racetrack is the backstretch, which is really a banana curve. It's known as turn number 8, but it is the fastest part of the racetrack.
And we are going green. 24 gas stock cars barreling down the front straightaway in front of 12,000 fans as we funnel into the turn 1 chicane.
On board the number 61 of Jerry Casey, running 9th right now, watching Joe Lamberti moving up on the inside from 11th, then hard braking into turn number 1.
Pretty clean start going through the chicane. Bachman in the number 6. Now the 28 of Rob Gritton sneaking by Tom Moore for third.
On board now, the Napa 46 of Chuck Bown, riding the tail of Gary Bachman as they navigate their way through turn 4, the beginning of what's known as the twisty bits.
On board now with the 24 Majid Hajari. We call this guy MJ, about halfway through the field in 12th place, checking out the action ahead of him, and there goes Jeff Smith. Jerry Casey off the course, so is MJ as he avoids the accident and back on the track.
And he recovers well, but Jeff Smith and Jerry Casey both fall back several positions. We go on board now with the leader, Gary Bachman's rear cam. Chuck Bound staying glued to the bumper, makes his move, but then loses it going into turn number 6.
And Bachman makes it through unscathed, putting even more distance between himself and the rest of the field.
Gary is probably the most familiar driver with the turns here at PIR, and he's certainly showing that today.
Here's John Dranius' view, currently running in 6th place. Tom Moore seems to be slowing down a bit.
Well, he may have gotten bumped in that melee back at turn 6. Also could be having engine trouble.
Well, whatever it is, he's losing ground big time as the field speeds right by.
Gary Bachman maintains a substantial lead down the backstretch. Have a number 5 of Rob Gordon now passing Moore to take 7th place.
Bachman now rounding turns 11 and 12 to complete the first action-packed lap of this race, and we'll be back with more of the George Moreland Gas 50 here at Portland International Raceway.